Alright, working on a new wire harness here. Got some new Bosch 750 injectors, and injectors came with a little pigtail with the wires already attached. So I figured I'd make a video here on how to depin and repin the uscar ev6 ev14 style pins, in the case you don't want to use a butt connector or solder the wires together here. Took me a bit to figure this out. To remove the wires, you need to remove this red safety clip in here. So the trick is there is a pin behind this black part. So to remove the safety clip, kind of need 3 hands. You will take a screwdriver and pry up on the red portion a bit. From there you will take something skinny or an electrical pin tool or a dental tool in between this red portion and this little black tab. You will pry the black tab out while simultaneously pulling up on the red clip. From there you can take your screwdriver, put it all the way underneath, and pry up to remove the safety clip. Once you have the safety clip, you can take your dental tool or your electrical pin connector set. This set I bought off Amazon for a few dollars. So you will use something skinny and sharp. From here, you'll come in at an angle towards the metal part. Slide down, pry out, and then pull the wire from the bottom. Go ahead and do that again on the other one. Push up on the wire, sometimes will help loosen these up. Come in from an angle, pry down, and then pull the wire out. Now, in order to add the new connectors, you need some length of wire, which I have here. These are the new wires for my wire harness. So to start, we will go ahead and strip some insulation off. Usually do a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. And then when you buy your terminal ends, they will come in a strip like this. And they will also come with a bag of waterproof insulator rubber grommets. Now when I ordered these, I ordered the wrong diameter and the wrong thickness, but I will still use these. So to make these wireproof insulators work on this style clip, I will have to trim this down a little bit here. I'm just going to cut kind of that big portion of the insulation off. And notice how small that hole is compared to the wire, so these are not the right size. So careful when you order these to order the correct size. But they're rubber, so they stretch. Just go ahead and put that onto your wire. Slide it back. You do want these rubber waterproof insulators all the way up onto the wire insulation. And that is ready to go. From there, take your connector strip, go ahead and cut off one of the connectors. Make sure you don't have a random strip of metal on the back of that. And you will go ahead and set the wire and waterproof insulation onto the end of the wire. From there, take your open barrel crimping tool, something like this. Make sure you select the correct size for wire and terminal you have, and you will go ahead and crimp the wire into the terminal. After crimping, always make sure to give it a tug. Make sure that is secure. From there, we need to crimp around the waterproof portion. I'm just going to bend those tabs a little closer together, and then I will go ahead and crimp them in the same wire dimension. Here, I am not going to fully crimp it, just enough so that it holds onto the wire. Get a nice good seal there. After that, take your D-pinned connector. If you look, doubt you'll be able to see, but the tab facing this side is on the left. The tab is going to enter the square hole here. So we're going to point the square hole to the left and slide in. You'll need to push a fair bit until you hear the clip snap into place. So that's one wire, all good to go. We'll go ahead and do the second one here real quick. Take our secondary wire. I'm going to strip the insulation. If anything, that's probably a little long. Take our seal, trim it down here, just because I bought the wrong ones, as these don't quite fit into the connector very well. Go ahead and get that on the wire. Make sure that's slid all the way up onto the insulation. Make sure you don't have any stray wire ends poking out. Okay. Get a new connector, or I've got one here. Go ahead and cut that off. Set it into the terminal, back to the crimps. If the copper part's a little long, make sure it sits down inside the housing. Pick your size. And I always make sure the terminal is square before I crimp it. And crimp. Give it a little tug, it's good. Bend the waterproof seal in a little bit, and then crimp it partially here. Make sure not to tear the rubber waterproof connector. From there, go back to our connector. The hole again goes on the left. Go ahead and slide that in all the way in until you hear the click, and then you are good to go.